All right. It's Friday. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side. Just kidding. Montel Jordan. It has been a doozy of a day, a doozy of a week. Hopefully I'm holding this thing right. I'm Gen X, so I don't know these things that well. Big day at the office, big week at the office. Just finished mowing. That was nice. Got some extra sprinklers since, again, kind of living and learning that part of it. Oh, if I don't drop the phone. All right, this week, again, keep in mind, I work at the biggest company in the world. So hopefully that at least qualifies me if somebody says, well, he doesn't work at that big of a company. Well, that's the biggest one in the world. Fortune 500 #1 for the last, I think 19 of 20 years. I think in 2003 or 4, we missed out. Who cares? Anyway, the lawn's mowed, that's the most important thing. But, no, all jokes aside, June and late November, early December, those are the two absolutely most insane times a year for us. Makes me still feel at least a little bit worthwhile when the young rookies, the hot shots that are much smarter than me, I walked through a spider web, are coming to me for help. Even though they have an MBA and everything else versus my, what would that be, MHA, Masters in Art? Anyway, who cares? Busy week. And one thing that kind of triggered me, just kidding, not triggered. I was joking with some of our younger associates. I said, look, I'm going to learn your lingo. Triggered, that's right, isn't it? Triggered and woke. She didn't like the word woke. She said, yeah, triggered, not woke. So, anyway, no, associate that I had trained is a senior manager now. It stuck with me because I jokingly told her, I said, hey, she just turned 32, I think. And I said, hey, I'm 45. In 12 years, 13 years, you'll be the same age. Make it a point to get out of here. Do something different. And I said, you could easily have 500K just in your account by then. And she stopped me and said, well, James, 500K, that's nothing. And keep in mind, she's a modest, conservative, smart, Christian girl. Leave these here for now. And she still is like looking at it saying $500,000, $500,000 is nothing. That's the blue pill, not leaving the matrix. With that being said, Fortune 500 #1 country, not to brag. Actually, look at that sunset really quick. Isn't that nice? It's funny, you can't really hear, but there's owls and stuff in the distance. I'm going to put a picture of the map just so you can see how off the grid this really is. Anyway, we've lost something. And the fact that it's just like we don't even realize we're taking the blue pill is kind of scary. With that being said, not to brag, that's why I say over 20 years, so that's not that long, but it's a little bit of time, at the biggest company in the world. So, okay, well, it's a decent size. Okay, James, well, you've probably been out here in the sticks. Well, I lived in a small town. I mean, it was called Manhattan, New York City for a few years. So again, it's not like I've not been out there. So just think about that for a second, because it really stuck with me that I looked at her and I was like, because I told her I was going to get her the movie Into the Wild, not worth going into, you can Google it. on McDaniels, forgot his name now. But anyway, and just that stuck with me. $500,000 is nothing, James. Well, says who? So anyway, watch this short video. Alan Watts, our favorite. And again, it's funny, ironic. He died in 1972 or 73, so way ahead of his times. Once you look at this saying, wait a minute, this guy said this and he died in 1973? But just think about that. Let it sink in.
For Black Friday deals.
Look at that right there. Wall Street ending one of the worst weeks of trading since the financial crisis in 2008.
This Manhattan Beach, California home recently sold for Bitcoin.
The confusion of money in any form whatsoever with wealth is one of the major problems from which civilization is suffering. When we first began to use symbols to represent the events of the physical world, we found this such an ingenious device that we became completely fascinated with it. And in ever so many different dimensions of life, we are living in a state of total confusion between symbol and reality. But our culture, our civilization, is entirely hung up on the notion that money has an independent reality of its own. We are thinking about vast abstractions, ideologies called communism, capitalism, all these systems, and paying less and less attention to the world of physical reality, to the world of earth and trees and waters, people, the idea of the material world.
All right, hopefully that at least will make you say, oh my gosh, that guy's kind of ahead of his time. And, what was it? He ended it by saying the whole thing from beginning to end is a charade. He didn't say charade. What did he say? The whole thing from beginning to end is a farce. Whatever he said. Anyway, same difference. Here the frogs and everything. Oh my gosh, Mother Nature. Been fighting that from day one. We'll do some meditation later if I don't get snake bit. Anyway, the point being is think about what he's saying and what about, she told me 500,000 is nothing. Well, I mean, to some degree, she's not wrong. I mean, oh, don't step on a snake or fall in the pond. Isn't that nice? Whoa, put that together and I got the little sign, welcome to Walden. Everybody's like, what's Walden? Walden Pond, David Thoreau. Maybe we call it Walden Swamp. But no, just think about what she said. I'm hoping the solar lights, I came out here to test those. It's not quite dark enough yet. But think about what she said, $500,000, that is nothing. Okay. Well, says who? Because to some degree she's right. If you're wanting to live in a really super fancy, top-of-the-line house, I mean, it is dumbfounding. Even in my neck of the woods, like my house, I think I bought it 10 years ago for 100 grand. It's now worth over 300 grand. I'm like, $300,000? Case in point, if it was $300,000 10 years ago, it's like $600,000-700,000 now. So, I mean, it has just gotten goofy. But who says that we have to live in these type houses? I mean, is it really worth slaving away for a 30 to 40 year mortgage? So again, each to your own. But again, I felt that I just had to say something because of the, we'll see if these lights are working here in a minute. I just felt like I had to say something because it really stuck with me when she said, James, $500,000, that's nothing. Oh, there's the ladder from last weekend when it fell in the pond. Basically, I need to get solar for these lights, and I didn't want it to look all ghetto, so I tried to get it set up in the tree well enough to get enough sun. We'll see if it actually works when it gets dark. But no, again, leaving the Matrix. And part of the reason you haven't heard from the other two guys, the one is so wrapped up trying to sell his house. He did take the plunge. He is now officially done with school at the age of, he turns 56 tomorrow, ironically. And good news, praise the Lord, he turned out he is benign on the prostate cancer thing that he was having to get checked out on. So apparently another limb fell. Oh, that's weird. I guess it fell from there. Lovely. And I got more rocks. I'll try to crack that tomorrow. Oh. But, and then the other one is trying to hone in on the whole RV thing. But again, hopefully they'll be making a video soon as well. But again, it just really stuck with me. You know, here's people that, like, you know, we've lost something. When $500,000 is nothing, yeah, I think we've lost something. I mean, says who? How much do you need? What is it you need to buy so badly? But, and again, like Joe Rogan said, it's like we get in this weird, brainwashed, no, I like my job, James. No, you don't. You're just brainwashed. Why do you like it? Tell me about it. Well, I get good dental and I got a good parking spot. What do you want to do? Well, I used to want to be a poet, but I snapped out of it. I'm going to, like, slave away like you did. No, dude, that's wrong. I mean, it worked out okay so far, but anyway, ramblings, but I thought it was worthwhile to at least, I don't know, think out loud as far as what leaving the Matrix means. And I don't know, it just still sticks to me that $500,000 is nothing in 2023. Food for thought.
Something was going to happen. So you go into nursery school as preparation for kindergarten. You go into kindergarten as preparation for first grade. And then you go up the grade till you get to high school. And then comes a time when maybe if we can get you fascinated enough with the system, you go to college. And then when you go to college, if you're smart, you get into graduate school and stay a perpetual student and go back to be a professor and just go round and round in the system. But in the ordinary way, they don't encourage quite that. They want you after graduate school or after graduation, commencement as it's called, beginning to get out into the world with a capital W. And so you know, you've been trained for this and now you've arrived. But when you get out into the world at your first sales meeting, they've got the same thing going again because they want you to make that quota. And if you do make it, they give you a higher quota. And come along about 45 years of age, maybe you're vice president. And suddenly it dawns on you that you've arrived. And with a certain sense of having been cheated, because it is just the same as life feels the same as it always felt. And you are conditioned to be in desperate need in the future. So the final goal that this culture prepares for us is for retirement, when you will be a senior citizen and you will have the wealth and the leisure to do what you've always wanted, but you will at the same time have impotence, a rotten prostate, and false teeth, and no energy. So the whole thing, from beginning to end, is a hoax.
All right, it's now dark enough. See the sun setting, but the solar lights kicked on. Uh-oh. Weird bugs are landing on me. I don't know what that is. And I'm noticing a lot of bats flying around. I'm like, dang it. But part of what I was wanting to check, we'll walk over there, but you can kind of see, wait, there's lights over there. Well, there's going to be a lot more kind of lighting up the path, but I wanted to kind of do a test run. Those lights have been up for over a year, so worked pretty good. Some of these other ones, obviously that one's not working. Whoop. So kind of like out with the old, in with the new, or out with the old, in with the good. So kind of did a test run on what solar lights work well, what ones don't. That strip over there, so far in a different area, works really good. I was just nervous that that one might not get enough sunlight. Let's hope I don't step on a snake, and then I can publish how to like treat snake venom. These, which I can post in the comments, those actually work really good. Same thing with these type lanterns. It looks like it's really candles or fire. Works very good. No complaints there. The other ones that are actually kind of cheap, no wonder they don't work, kind of a thing. Whoop. Here by the bridge. I'll try to hopefully, again, you can see the solar on the top. It's got just enough between the trees to get a decent amount of sun during the day. And like I said, all of this, I have it set up to do the strings. I just wanted to, because they're 50 feet. These, no bueno. I mean, they work for a little bit and then they just peter out. I think there's a couple of here still working. Oh. Oh. Sure don't fall. Nice. Little rainfall lights. And again, you can kind of tell, here's where they end. That's just one strain. Goes through here. Hooked it. Oh, goes all the way through here. There's where that's at. Those are just those cheap little rainfall looking ones. This is the one, looks like it's still working, that I said is not so great. That one's still working, but needs to be replaced. So good to know. Oh, actually the one up here is still working. But hopefully next time I do this little video, you will see a much more well-lit path. There's the one that I say they don't work good. That one actually is working pretty good. Oh, get out of the underbrush. Oh, gonna add some more rocks here tomorrow. Now a little bit more into the light. At least now here on the bridge, you can kind of see a little bit more. Now some of these other ones have kicked on. They just need to be, probably need to spend a little bit more money on the nicer ones. Oh. Oh. And then back, it's really not that dark. Makes it look like it's pitch black, but it's really not. Oh. Now back to base camp. Yeah, those lights in the back by the shower, those solar lights, I mean, those have been, whoop, forgot the directional light. I mean, those are over a year old now. And I mean, they'll pretty much make it through the entire night. So, good job. I'll leave a link in the about, but yeah, I mean, those work really well. It was fun climbing up there on a ladder, but yeah, good stuff.